that looks okay.
Yeah. All good.
Yeah.
Ish.
High energy.
Yes.
Energy.
We'll get there.
All right. Oh, there we go.
I can't do shit, but I know I want to. Maybe if we talk about it, I'll find shit to do. I got a brain somewhere and you got one too. Da-ba-da-da, something to be fucking do.
High energy, flexing.
Stretching.
Oh, right,
Making.
okay.
Flexing.
Right.
Oh, look at that flex.
Chest.
Is that chest?
Yeah, you can do your chest like that.
If you're real, you can do your chest however you like. But chest. Yeah, weird week. Good week. Strange week.
Yeah.
Hitler.
Yeah.
It's a point of conversation between us.
Yeah.
That, like, I think I didn't effectively communicate, and I think I misunderstood. Last week we what's the best way to put it? Was it a Hitler speech?
It was.
It was Hitler speaking.
Yeah.
So we publicly and trying to earn money from a Hitler speech, whilst trying to insult / promote a nice podcast.
Yeah.
We were doing a bit of banter with Ragbag Podcast. Just like, and the best type of promotion I know is just to, insult each other back and forth.
Yeah.
And last week,
It was my turn.
yeah, yeah, and basically, if you haven't seen the episode, was just basically Frank Burton, who does Ragbag, wrote a book and made an audiobook of it, and you. And Steve sprung it on me that he'd kind of edited it together so that Frank Burton introduced Hitler as like a really cool guy.
Yeah.
And it was like Hitler's speech was part of his audiobook.
Yeah.
With the themes and everything that kind of
Yeah, the music.
And it worked. It was I found it very funny.
It was more working out how you break it to Frank that your mate, who he's never spoken to,
who he's not friends with on Facebook, as far as I know.
Yeah.
But like, hi. Listen, this is what's happened.
Steve's got no tact.
Well, no. See, the thing is, right? I found it funny. I find it very funny.
Yeah.
The thing that there was a bit of hesitation from me in terms of keeping it, as in I wanted to. You first of all brought it up as if this is just for us. We'll likely edit it out.
Yeah,
as it was presented. So I think there was a little bit of that already. And it was like, should we keep it in? Should we take it out? We've never taken anything out before.
No.
And we don't like it when things get taken out.
Well, we've never taken anything out for it being offensive. For us worrying about hurting people's feelings. But there have been like personal slips where you're like, well, don't mention that person's name. Maybe take that out and stuff.
And that's been like literally like, I think I mentioned a place where a family member worked and said about the controversy going on there. And we were like, there's no point keeping, it still works without mentioning them by name. It still works like that. Same with other different family members. So there's been some edits and some like a handful over the 130 odd episodes that we've done.
Yeah. Go a bit closer.
Yeah, right.
That's better.
We never really edited anything out before, but this was the first thing that was kind of like, oh, this feels like, for me, it was, I'm not sure whether somebody else would appreciate their book being plagiarized.
Exactly. Yeah, that was a worry.
And their audio, their music being used without permission, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there was a part of me that was like, I find it funny because there's loads of in-jokes in the podcast, as in there's loads of jokes that we make throughout the podcast because that's how we communicate anyway. Yeah. But this was the first, I think, very core of friendship in joke. That the reason it's so funny is 1, is that you're doing it. 2, how it's been presented. 3, that I didn't understand. I didn't expect it to be coming. And 4, how inappropriate it is to do this in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny anyway from the outside. But for me, it was like, oh, that's like, I'll find it really funny. But no one else is going to see how we found it funny as clearly.
Yeah. If he hadn't have said, yeah, okay, like, there would have been no way I'd have put it in. Like, and I broached it kind of with you before we started recording, which was just like, I've made a thing. I don't think, I think we might have to take it out, but I want to do it anyway. Yeah.
And it's not even like controversial, really.
No,
it's
but
just,
you're comparing,
purely,
to an untrained eye, you're comparing a guy to Hitler.
But even without that, the thing that was controversial for me was using his music, and using his voice, his audio.
That's the thing. It's like these are now his words, and it's like, well, it's obvious that it's not.
It. Oh yeah, definitely.
You don't want. It's like my thing was like, well, it's his book. This is something that he sells. It's been made more personal. Yeah, this is something that he sells. That is, so it's a way for him to make a livelihood. Yeah, and I'm saying. Maybe it's Mein Kampf.
So I don't know whether this person has any family members, but it's equivalent of us having the banter back and forth about with this and that other podcast, and then I take it to another level by marrying his sister and integrating myself into his family, and he doesn't know it's me until years down the line, when I'm like, by the way, this is all a big prank. Yeah. Now we'd find that hilarious. Yeah. It would be absolutely brilliant, and I'd totally be up for it. But it's from the outside, you'd be like, I don't understand, I don't get that. So it's been made more personal in that kind of way. But we kept it in. More than happy to keep it in. It was just the first time I broached it to him, I was like, this is just a joke for us three. Yeah. And then he was like, oh yeah, I found it kind of funny. I was like, it made him chuckle or whatever. I was like, okay, good. And then I was like, well, now I have to ask him again that it's not just a joke between us three. It's like, should we put it in the episode? He's like, oh yeah, sure. I was like, okay. He said he's fine with it, but then I was like, maybe it's funnier if we don't put it in. Like, genuinely, in terms of structure, we laugh about it so much, and we even talk about redacting it, and it's like this kind of thing that happened that has an illusion around it. It's kind of funny that we've edited something out. Yeah. And then it was like, it'd be confusing to people, and it'd be like,
well that's the thing. I release
it another day.
Like, to me, I made the two different versions, and I was like, the edited version is still funny, like, and it does work, but I can't unhear the section. So it all makes perfect sense to me as to what's going on and everything. So I still have that context. And I was worried that it would just seem frustrating to someone who hasn't heard it and be like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm now missing out on something. Yeah.
But then again, it's funny, maybe funnier in a different way. Because then it becomes like, oh, what was funny? It's like, oh, it was just this Mein Kampf segment that we did that we thought best not to keep out. So it's not the act of leaving it out, it's the fact that it's the act of removing it is the funny thing for me. I was like, oh no, it's just funnier just to leave it in. And it wasn't an obvious cut either. It wasn't like I'd put like a big card up or a beep or anything and be like redacted or anything. It was just suddenly it wasn't there anymore. Yeah. And we were pissing ourselves about nothing. Yeah, and for a while afterwards.
Yeah, into the next bit where there was a little bit of context when we started laughing about World War II. Yeah, and nobody. But that's the thing. It's like that makes. Yeah, I don't know if I wouldn't be frustrated.
It's kind of funny, but I think it takes more skilled comedians, I think, than we are to figure out whether it's funnier. It's like, just keep it in. It made us laugh a lot. And if anything, it might not be interpreted in the same way, as in they might find it funny as we did, but that's what the podcast isn't about, necessarily about making other people laugh. Yeah, it's about documenting making each other laugh.
Yeah, I think
which is what it did.
I think if I felt like it was funnier to take it out, I would have said let's take it out. But it's just the fact that I didn't know. Yeah, it's just that I had that gut feeling that it would just be annoying.
Yeah. No, I agree. So that was an interesting, weird conversation of the week. Yeah. But
we've never talked about the artistic merit of a Hitler joke. Yeah. Yeah.
Which you get it's all funny. Mm. Yeah, there's another, I don't know what, I think it's quite recent. But there was a vote thing.
Oh yeah.
Eurovision. Where apparently Madonna was terrible. I don't know.
Madonna?
Yeah. Oh. Apparently she's terrible now. I didn't watch it, but apparently she performed and she wasn't very good.
Okay.
That's all I know.
I don't care.
Eurovision's weird for me.
I don't care about Madonna.
Strange. But yeah, there was a European parliamentary vote or something.
Yes.
And the thing that I find funny, one, I don't understand any politics really at all.
Yeah.
And I'll get on to why it's related to what we were talking about in a second. But the funniest thing about voting to me is how most people's visions of the world is not quite how the world is. So say Donald Trump being elected into presidency, everyone was like, it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. But everyone's like, the majority of the country's like, no, yeah. Or the majority of the states are like, yeah, we want this. And they're like, what? No, it's impossible. It's like, no, you're just making yourselves blind to everything.
Yeah.
So it's the same with Brexit. Everyone's saying it's not going to happen. You know, obviously it's all this, it's going to happen. And then it gets voted for. And it's like, okay. So it's not how you it's not how you expected the world to be acting or behaving or whatever. And then I think there was another one where, this Brexit, this European Parliament, there was a Brexit party running.
Yeah.
And I think UKIP was running as well.
Yeah.
And they won the majority of the votes. Which again is that whole thing of like the whole thing about wanting a second referendum, being like if we did a vote now, then there wouldn't be a Brexit.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and then suddenly,
there's all this information is being given to you.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm more than happy to accept that this information is corrupt or whatever. But all this information's being to argue against you, and you're just going, no, it's not wrong. I saw a thing of somebody posted that, even though they won the most votes or whatever it was, the most of the votes to the parties were given to parties completely that didn't want Brexit. So therefore, we shouldn't have Brexit. It was like, well, you're going through different stretches. Again, the whole process is completely flawed to me because politicians are stereotypically untrustworthy, corrupt, and will lie to you for your vote. Yeah. So why would you try and get someone to...
All you've really said is that everybody that wanted Brexit formed a unified front, and everybody that didn't want it squabbled amongst themselves by voting for 5 different parties.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, if they made a non-Brexit party... Yeah. Maybe that would have been effective.
Well, I think they did. Was that like Change UK or something? But
I have no idea.
I don't know.
That was the Change.org for the Game of Thrones remake.
Oh, right.
But they got 8 million votes or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Bring back Stannis.
Labsky. Why do we want this weird theatrical writer or whatever he was brought back? We just want him back. He'll fix everything.
Stanislavski. That took me a second.
Sorry. yeah, Stanislavski, yeah. He was the guy who broke the fourth wall. I can't remember.
Yeah, he was all big on. He had all these rules.
Don't break the fourth wall.
We did Stanislavski at uni, and I was just by the end of it, I was just like, I don't.
Yeah, I didn't learn anything at university of literature worth. Yeah. I've realised I'm not an intellectual by any means.
Yeah.
Like if I was cast to talk about a certain topic, I wouldn't be able to do a proper talk. I think if I tried, I might be able to get a proper research into it and understand it. But I'd still only present it as an idea. Just be like, well, you know, if you gave us an idea of how something could work. Like if someone said, you go away and invent a new steam engine, I'd be like, I could probably go away and come up with an idea of a steam engine, maybe. If I properly went into, it's a weird example. But then I wouldn't be like, this is the way forward. It's be like, it's a pretty good idea. Steam engines are good. Why not? We've already got tracks.
I think.
Feel free to not do it. This is an idea.
I think there's things that you maybe could do. I just think there's with
a steam engine.
No. Like things that you could describe that you could talk about on an intellectual level. It's just whether you had an interest. Like for myself, like I could happily give like a 2-hour presentation on the intellectual merits of pro wrestling. And like I could just because of.
But would it be serious or would it be jokey?
It would be serious.
Yeah. I could only ever do it as a joke.
But at the same time that's a passion thing, and I think you could potentially do the same for Slipknot or something like that.
Still be jokey, I think.
But exactly, like I don't think you'd have an interest in doing that. I think that's a difference. I don't think it's an inability.
It's weird. No, it's like I think I'm just inherently silly. As in, I am not a serious person.
Yeah.
So like I was looking at watching Barry, which is a Bill Hader show. Dextery. He had Bill Burr was on it.
Pick that up, but I haven't caught it yet. Is it any good?
Yeah, it's worth it. Like I mean, I've said weird things about shows, but like there's moments in this that are like, yeah, that was really good, and yeah, this was really good, and this is a show that I now subscribe to. Yeah, as in like I think the second season's just finished. It's like the third season's going to be great. The second season was amazing. Yeah, and just little things that they did. And I watched a talk he did. There's like a Q&A, and somebody asked him if he was looking to, would he be interested in doing dramatic pieces, and he was like, well, Barry's pretty dramatic, and it is dramatic. Yeah. It is a drama, but it's a comedy drama. Yeah. And I think the question was, would you ever move away from comedy and just do drama? And he said, like, well, I enjoy the really intense dramatic stuff, but I kind of feel like people watch it for weird reasons. And I don't know what he was intending to mean by that, but I would happily give a TED talk about something. Yeah. But it would always be comedy infused, because I don't think it should be taken seriously, because I don't think anything should be taken seriously.
I would, but I think I would lean on humor, but I don't think that means that it lacks intellect. Like I think there's
to change the world, to be
plenty of lecturers that I had that put humor into the stuff that they did.
But like if you were brought onto This Morning, Good Morning Britain, or a talk show to like discuss your pro wrestling 2-hour intellectual talk, for me the whole situation would be absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Why are you even talking to me about this? Like, I just make this point and who cares? But so I am inherently a silly person, and all this thing about freedom of speech and PC culture and all that, I think is now down to there are two types of people in the world. There's silly people and there's serious people. Like Carl Benjamin, Sargon of Akkad guy. Yeah, I saw an interview he did today with Victoria Derbyshire about he got in some hot water because he made a tweet, or he made a joke about Jess Phillips, this MP. The joke was the tweet was basically, I wouldn't even rape her. To try and say that as an insult to her. Yeah. And if you look under, and there's two lights you can look under it. You can look under it as a silly thing to say, or you can look under it as a serious, intentional thing to say. And if you look under it under one light, it's silly. And if you look under the other light, it's serious. And there's all these debates about whether rape's never funny, and you can't joke about suicide. You can't joke about anything.
Yeah, you can.
And you just go, well, I think it just boils down to, are you a serious person or are you a silly person? Yeah. And where on the spectrum are you? Because if you look at it under the two microscopes, you get two very different results. Yeah. And there's an argument for both. And there's an argument for, well, what should we have? Well, then you have to decide, should everything be taken seriously? Because then that makes no sense. Or should everything be taken silly? And you go, well, that makes no sense. For a society, for a person, I don't take much very seriously. No. But as a society and a government and a country, yes, you have to take things seriously. Yeah. You can't take, you have to take laughing gas seriously because it can kill people. You can't just be like, oh, funny gas. Yeah. I could, but an authority couldn't. Yeah. And I accept that. But yeah, it's just these two lights, and it's a forever going on argument because it's just two different types of people. It's people who like pineapple on pizza and people who don't like pineapple on pizza. Yeah. And it's just
people who will order the country to remove all pineapple from pizza.
Yeah. And you're like, hang on, why? Because, and it's the same with abortion, right? All these high profile topics, you just have different cores of belief. Are you killing babies, or are you preventing a bad situation? Yeah. And you go, well, it depends how you look at it. And if you're just hell bent on looking at it under one microscope, then you're going to have this argument forever. Yeah. And there's no right answer because the world's not full of right answers. No. Anyway, my point was, I take everything very in a non-serious sense. I think there's some people, and it must be, I can't understand. There are certain jobs I could never do because I wouldn't be able to take it seriously enough. Yeah. If I was an executioner, right, I could still be like, I have to kill them. Yeah. But it's kind of funny, and then kind of like, I try and mix it up, what weapons can I kill someone with today? Just try to spark that little bit of silliness into everything. Yeah. But there's certain people like who just can't be like, what's it called when a doctor does cancer? I can't remember. They're called something.
Oncologist.
Yeah, like oncologists, they may well be serious, be very silly people. Yeah. But there's certain situations where they may feel they have to be serious.
Where you need like.
Yeah. Yeah, and I could do that, but there's part of me that I wouldn't be able to do that. I just find it too. I think that laughter is the best medicine, which is a weird stance for an oncologist. So I'm just not suited for that.
Oncologists obviously naturally think chemo is probably the best medicine.
So yeah, I'm just not suited for that role, and I think that there are serious people who aren't suited for silly roles.
Yeah.
And all these conversations about like whether a joke is funny or should be said or not is usually argued by people who are not silly, or their job is to not be silly, like a journalist.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a journalist's job to be silly and tell lies.
Yeah.
I can't understand. The job is to take things seriously and fact check and represent the people and take a message to people or whatever it is. And then you've got comedians or YouTubers, which is kind of a grey area, I think, which is part of the problem. Like that, what is a YouTuber? Is he a journalist? Is he a comedian? Is he a filmmaker?
Whoever's watching the fucking video.
Yeah, so it's just that argument just goes round and round in circles. But yeah, there's certain very serious people who wouldn't be able to do stuff, and there's certain very silly people who wouldn't be able to do other things. And it's like, well, we're just different people. You can be pineapple on a pizza, and you can be no cheese on a pizza. You had a cheeseless pizza before?
No, that's just bread, isn't it?
Tomato
and bread.
And mushrooms we had.
Yeah,
That's
you
how
told
we
me about
rebelled.
this, and like, as far as that goes, that's the kind of shit that turns me into a serious person. What the fuck is that? Like, what?
Oh, you're not a fan of mushrooms? Are you a fan of mushrooms?
I hate mushrooms.
Right, yeah.
But I'm at a point now where I will eat them. Like, as in, I won't prepare them.
I will fill myself with hate.
if they're in something, I'm not like picking them all out. Like, I'll just fucking eat them, like, because I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So like, just bread with mushrooms and tomato, no cheese. It's not a pizza.
Or it's.
You can call it
So
a
if
pizza.
without cheese,
you can
it's
order
not a
it from a
pizza?
pizza place, but it's not a pizza.
What makes a pizza then? Cheese, obviously.
Yeah.
So milk is just an early birth pizza. Fetal pizza.
Milk curds.
Okay. Curds and whey
Potentially.
to finish the
To
day.
scare the spiders or whatever.
Yeah. Is that Little Miss Muffet?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Anyway. Quite an eventful week this week.
Yeah.
I did some actual things that I was kind of torn between.
I did some actual things.
Yeah. What is a bank holiday? So I decided to kind of celebrate it.
I was Tim Allen.
I'm always Tim Allen.
Being a Tim Allen.
Yeah, but you've I'm a romantic.
Oh God, this again.
Right. I know that you're not. But you think that you are.
Yeah, myself, the married person, not romantic.
It's such a bollocks argument, though. I've been meaning to do so much more with that.
Yeah.
And I just haven't.
You just haven't.
No. I tried, and it didn't. I
Why
tried
don't you
with
sing
you,
another
it
Christmas
didn't
song?
Yeah. No, but you claim that you're romantic and therefore only deserving of love because you now own a woman and I don't. That's your view. That's what you're saying. Yeah, the belief that you're married means you're more romantic.
I don't think it makes me more romantic. I'm just not seeing the evidence from your side of the table.
Well, let me give you one. Okay, let me give you one. So, started trying to date again. Just trying to do stuff. And I think it was like fourth date. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to organise a fourth date. And because I'm a romantic and because I'm a fan of film and stuff like that, so I'll be Matthew McConaughey. Romantic. So
obvious choice.
Painted myself. Well, yeah, he's like, what is it? It's like all these stupid how to lose a guy in 10 days.
All right, not in
failure to launch.
Dallas Buyers Club or something.
Really went into the role. Just Jared Leto, come. We've got to work together. All right.
Yeah, I'm a romantic.
Yeah, it was
starving to death. Oh yeah, Wolf of Wall Street.
Romance. There was some stupid. He's done some bad rom-coms as well as some.
That's how his career started, and then suddenly he was like an icon
in some way. Yeah, he did some.
He
better
just
roles
suddenly
or
went massive. I think a lot of guys started like that though. But yeah,
those kind of romantic comedies where like they go on elaborate things.
Yeah.
Where would you take someone on an elaborate romantic date, Steve? Seeing as you're apparently romantic.
It depends on the person.
Oh, how romantic. Yeah, so say it was somebody who liked things. What would you do?
I'd take them to a place full of things.
Ah, that's predictable.
Yeah, I'd take them to one massive thing.
So you like cheese? Look at all this cheese.
Yeah.
Cadbury World, Legoland.
Yeah, I've never been to Legoland, and I've never been to Cadbury World either.
No, I've gone past Legoland a few times on my way to Stonehenge.
Yeah.
I was like, it's weird that Legoland's next to Stonehenge.
Legoland, an ancient Legoland.
Yeah, basically, there's just blocks put together by a kid who didn't read the instructions.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's people who use the right colours for blocks.
What do you mean?
Get it. Like, you know, like when you got like a big bucket of Lego.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I'm just going to build something. You didn't really care about the colour.
No.
There are people who use the real colour. I mean, I get it. Go for it. It's your passion. It's your passion. But like, yeah, I can't imagine like, well, now I need to find a grey block with 6x2.
Oh no, fuck that. No, I never had that. I had a big box of like just mixed Lego from a load of different sets. I would get a set and I'd put it together once and then it'd all just go in the same fucking box.
Yeah.
If you had OCD or something, my box of Lego was a fucking nightmare for you.
It would kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. But like that was the creativity of Lego for me. That was freeing.
Yeah.
Like you make anything. It doesn't matter what fucking color it is.
You ever do Meccano?
No, I was never a Meccano person. I had some Connect stuff like just as I was leaving my construction phase
of childhood.
Yeah. But no, I never had Meccano.
I did a little bit of Meccano. I seem to remember it being quite cool.
Yeah.
Like you would build cars.
Yeah.
It was like more like wrenches and nuts and wheels and stuff like that. And you would build stuff that had electricity. And then I think Lego did electricity stuff.
Yeah, well, I had a motor and like bits and pieces and stuff like that. You could make. Never made much, but I made like sliding doors and shit like that.
Yeah. Childhood.
Lego. Legoland.
So Legoland. Yeah, you would take someone to Legoland.
Sure.
Anyway, your romancer side. I was like, I think of some kind of romantic comedy film thing. So sharks. Right?
Sharknado. This is romantic.
Well, there was we've had a bit of a conversation about stuff like surprises. Never really done surprise dates before.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily. I've never really subscribed to that, but I was like, fuck it, try just surprising somebody with a shark.
Yeah.
So yeah, I found I do a lot of Virgin Experience days. I've gotten you a few in the past.
Yeah, you got as a falconry one.
Apocalypse survival zombie thing. Just like days out that are just a bit more interesting than something to do. So, you can go swim with sharks.
Yeah.
I was like, in England. I'm like, all right.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do that
Birmingham.
for fucking ages. Oh. Like Sea Life Centre.
The NEC. It was weird, and I didn't know what to expect because I was like, I don't believe that there's sharks in Birmingham. I've paid some money to swim with some sharks.
Yeah.
With someone who I don't know if they're deathly afraid of sharks.
So not like a
or
great white, but
no,
just like
megalodon. There was a megalodon in there. Admittedly, just its jaw.
Right. Okay.
But like, there was like, and the shark. I was as I was driving there, I was like, all right, maybe it's like really small sharks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that
like
big
tiger
or something
sharks
like
or
that.
bull sharks or something.
Yeah, I was like, that's probably what they mean. I'd imagine that's easier to move than a great white or whatever. Turns out they were, I don't know, that big.
Yeah.
So they were pretty big sharks. Not
big
massive.
as a dog.
Yeah. It was like a
dog-sized shark. Dog shark.
Yeah, and it was like, you can just snorkel with these, or dive with these, or whatever you want to do. So, that sounds pretty cool. So, it's a pretty cool, adventure-y, different, get out of the house and do something kind of thing. And there was a really...
Don't tell me. She's allergic to sharks.
Yeah, she's allergic to death. And it was like, and as it was coming up to it, I booked it. I was like, it's not out of my comfort zone. But it's getting out of the house and doing something is a little bit out of my comfort zone.
That's out your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Leaving.
Well, just like, I mean, at the moment, this work's just really busy. So I'm just like, my sleeping pattern is so fucked up. I woke up at like 5 p.m. today, went to bed at like 8 a.m.
Yeah. Just
from working. So it's just like, everything's kind of just been like, right, I need to get through the next month or so of work just so I can get back to real life.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's part of me that's kind of like, not necessarily wanting to do it. But then it was like, no, you know what? It'll be a laugh. So I'll go for it anyway. Got there. Turns out it's a theme park in Birmingham, NEC, that's a Bear Grylls theme park. I didn't know he had a theme park.
No.
Yeah, he's got a theme park, and apparently there's more to come. So it's just in the NEC. It's a very small theme park. Very small.
Oh, Mum, can I squeeze water out of elephant shit?
But the thing is, it's marketed towards, what's that? Not circuit training, but like, what's the...
CrossFit.
Yeah, CrossFit people.
What?
It's Bear Grylls, so it's like, high ropes and...
Oh, yeah, CrossFit. I'll eat, like, a fucking cockroach or something.
Stuff like, it's called iFly or whatever, which is in those wind tunnels. Instead of jumping out of a plane, you get in a wind tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
That is adrenaline junkie
right.
kind of stuff. Swimming with sharks.
Yeah.
All that kind of
Bear
stuff.
Grylls.
Yeah, face your fears and all that kind of stuff.
In a very safe, manageable environment.
So it's marketed towards those people. So we went there on a bank holiday. It wasn't busy. There were people there, but it wasn't busy. I mean, I didn't even know it existed. Right. But there were people there. And it was all people like dressed up in like CrossFit-y clothes and doing all this kind of stuff. But it's just a theme park for 11-year-olds. It's just Legoland. Yeah, that's all it is. And admittedly, there's a little bit more. I mean, because it's like 11-year-olds swimming with sharks. Yeah, same way that you go to Florida and you would swim with dolphins or whatever. Yeah. Same thing. It's not. I mean, I don't have any fears really that I know of, and it was all about. It's all about facing fears. That was the whole message of the whole park. Yeah. Is get outside your comfort zone. I've already come out the house. I've already conquered that comfort zone problem. And there was just loads of there's loads of different stuff, but it was just, who is Bear Grylls? He's like the more and more that you get in this theme park that it's obviously for 11-year-olds, you kind of think he's just an 11-year-old kid. Got nothing against the guy, but you've got his quotes from Bear Grylls, all that famous linguist, that famous literalist, philosopher, Bear Grylls. There's like, never give up, Bear Grylls. Oh, Nike. Did he say that? Did he? Nike. And it's just like mud, sweat, and tears. Yeah, Bear Grylls. Bear Grylls. And it was like, the only difficult day was yesterday, Bear Grylls. So it's just like, Bear. Why are you graffitiing all over these walls with these shit quotes? There's a restaurant in there which only does Charlie Chalk type pizzas.
What are they?
Just like small, basic Tesco frozen pizzas. Oh. But like their market is like, oh, it's Bear Grylls pizza. Oh, it's barbecue chicken pizza with all this kind of stuff. I ordered the El Capitan or whatever, which is just like a pepperoni pizza.
It's got shit on it.
Yeah, it's like, comes with a side of crickets or grasshoppers or whatever. You're like, okay, this is great. I'm facing my fear
by
of not eating
pizza.
crickets.
Yeah.
Of pizza. And the start, I mean, I think it's a great family outing place to go. Yeah. If you have kids, they'd love it. Yeah, because there's just links where you go, this has nothing to do with Bear Grylls. There's a Chinook, there's half a Chinook, sticking out of the theme park that I can't remember what they're called, but again, they had them at Charlie Chalk's. Is Charlie Chalk's a reference you get? No, I think they were called different things up and down the country, like a kids restaurant or pub with a kids restaurant and a soft play centre inside. Okay,
we had a bunch of them, but they weren't branded. There was Wacky Warehouse. There were quite a few of those around here.
No, this was like a proper restaurant, or a proper big pub restaurant with a big thing, and they were called Charlie Chalk's. And it was like a place to take your kids for a pub with a restaurant. Yeah. You can then send them into big
soft play thing.
For them to go play in.
They were fucking sick. I used to love those when I was a kid.
Yeah, like slides, ball pits.
Yeah. We had a ball cannon. It was great.
Yeah, that kind of place. We had them. There was a chain of them down south anyway called Charlie Chalk's. We used to go to a few of them, and they had like in the garden they had one of those like a wire that went from one post to another. You would like Tarzan over it, had a seat. You basically did that out of a Chinook at Bear Grylls Adventure Park. Oh right. And it was like, why is this Bear Grylls? Like, I know that he doesn't tend to slide along high wires that much in the jungle that I'm aware of. No. Or to find relevant shit to drink. Yeah. Or whatever it is. But again, if you're a kid, I did it out of a Chinook. Yeah. And there was I think it's called a trust fall or a leap of faith. Where it was just
jump off the Chinook.
Just jump. But the thing is, like, again, if you've got a fear of it, maybe it's totally different, right? I completely agree with that. It's just none of it was really that fearful to me. So there was this one where it was a free fall. I think it was like 60 foot tall, and you jump off and you're tied to a rope, but you jump and it's like a very slow descent. Yeah. It's just like a leap of faith. Yay. Faith. Isn't it great? And like, yeah, walking over stuff while you're connected to a rope. It's like, yeah,
Right.
it's not scary to me.
like Go Ape or something.
Yeah, basically. Apparently the tallest unsupported something in the UK.
Okay.
It was just like, you're just walking around.
Yeah.
But the best part for me, which I think sums up the entire park, was the survival maze. Because when you get the swimming with sharks thing was more expensive than what it was worth, I think.
Right.
But it included other activities within the park. So it included a survival maze, archery, escape rooms, and an assault course or something like that. And the survival maze was completely designed for you to face your fears. So it had like a little bear video. You've got to use your grit, your determination, your nerves and everything to make it through this. Let me break down some of the rooms. Spoiler alert. One of them is just a wet room. You're afraid of storms? No. Are people afraid of storms? Maybe. Are they afraid of a leaky roof? Probably not. And the instructor that we had probably did a fantastic job. But I imagine she hates her job. And she just wanted to get through it all. She's like, this just, like, any shift.
Yeah.
It's like, just fucking.
Even the most fun jobs where it's always those jobs where you go to, or the things you go to and you're like, wow, but it's fucking awesome working here. And like day 5 rolls in, it's like, this is shit.
Yeah, when you're 15, it's like, but wouldn't it be amazing to work at a cinema?
Yeah.
And then I still think it'd be pretty cool to work at a cinema.
Yeah.
But when I was 25, I was still like, it'd be pretty. I'd love to work in a cinema. Now I'm like, it would be fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how much enjoyment I get out of it anymore.
Yeah.
To start that career. Anyway, so yeah, they start off the whole event by saying you need nerves of steel. They say, is anyone afraid of spiders? Anyone afraid of snakes? Anyone allergic to all this kind of stuff? And then Bear Grylls on the TV, just like, you might die. But yeah, it was literally just a corridor with a leaky roof, with a sprinkler down the middle, and you were meant to commando climb the sides of the wall.
Oh, right.
Just walk straight through it. Oh no, your shoes will get wet. Yeah, I'm used to that. That's fine. I'll survive.
What shoes?
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to go swimming with sharks later. I'm not that afraid of water.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. The first thing they did, actually, was just put a hood on your head and walk you through a room.
Oh, so you don't know where you are.
So
you don't know.
Are you afraid of the dark?
That you're in the next room.
You're afraid of the dark.
Yeah.
Ooh. And I think there was probably things like touching you.
Oh.
They were like, oh, there's spiders.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I can't feel things.
I know too. I'm a husk of morals and emotion.
Yeah.
So this is unaffecting to me. But yeah, I know too much about about how these things kind of work to be like, yeah, you're not throwing spiders at us.
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed.
Yeah.
So
Health and safety.
Fine. Yeah. So anything you're telling me, spiders are going to fall from the ceiling. No, they won't.
Yeah.
They absolutely won't. So I think that was part of that is my mind. But it's meant to be fear of the dark walking through. Then you had the leaky room. Then you had, I forget some of these, but one of there was like, are you afraid? Are you claustrophobic? So you just had to walk through like a bit of a bouncy castle.
Yeah.
So, all right. And all the time, the drama keeps on trying to be brought up by the people who work there. You're like, no, it's fine. Then you came to the snake room with the deadliest snakes in the world. No, it's not. It's fine. It was really dark. And they're like, we have to keep the lights low because snakes don't like light. And you're like, no, yeah, they don't mind light at all. They live in the fucking desert. There's a lot of light in the desert when the sun's out. So I think it's fine. Can we turn the lights up? No. But there's one of the world's deadliest snakes in this. No, it's just a stick. I can see in the dark. It's fine. And then she got to the minute and said, what I've got in this box is a boa constrictor and you're all going to have a chance to pet it.
Okay.
So if everyone's afraid of snakes, go over here and you won't pet it. But if you don't mind snakes, we'll pet it for you. Yeah. She made a big act of it, put a hand in, was like, whoop. And she put her hand in and then the lights go out. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
And she screams a blood-curdling scream and runs out the room. And you're like, if you didn't, like, why would the snake, when it attacks you, synchronize a power cut? I mean, snakes are smart. I completely get it. They see with their tongues. You can't trust that.
Yeah. No.
Like, they're not going to be like, if we turn out the power, then...
Yeah, they don't understand the science of earthing. Like, it's just...
So she screamed and ran out the room, and everyone was just... There was about 7 of us. It was like...
Yeah.
Only 2 of us on a
date. So I guess the snakes got out.
It was just really unfazed.
Yeah.
Just like that. She went blood curdling stream out into the next room, and then it was immediately back to I don't like my job. So, okay, guys, it's now we're in the next room.
Same person?
Yeah, same person. Just blood-curdling scream out of the room. Lights come up. Okay, guys.
Didn't even replace her. Like, I would have done that in every room. Like, have just a different person. Well, so-and-so's not coming back. Yeah.
And again, immediately back to I hate my job. Everyone on this side of the room.
Or at least some injury. Go out, put on a cast, come back.
Yeah. Again, if you're 11, you'd be like, oh, that really scared me. But I'm like, I'm 31.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Yeah. Fair enough. I get what you're trying. I get that you're trying to make me feel something.
I'm very sorry, sir, that this place was not designed for you.
Yeah. But again, the thing is it's advertised for like tough mudder adrenaline junkies.
Right, yeah.
It's like, oh, don't want to go in the room with no snakes. What a thriller! Took us into a room where it was a whole room, and you were just given a handful of crickets to eat, and that was the room.
Did you eat them?
No. But not because I don't want to. It's just I wasn't
live
bothered.
Crickets.
No, fried crickets. Oh. That you just go, they're just Cocoa Pops. I mean, they weren't. They were crickets.
Yeah.
But you go like, when you eat them, I understand that it's just going to... I've got no fear of this to overcome.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't put them on my pizza because the pizza wasn't that great anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have a cricket pizza.
Yeah. I don't want to. I'm not scared.
Yeah.
I just don't want to.
Face my fear.
Do you want to punch yourself in the face? No. Why? Are you scared of it?
Yeah.
No, I just don't. I don't want to.
One of the rooms was a slide. Not the slide. Oh no, not the slide. Another one was like just walking through a dark box, like crawling through a dark box.
Okay.
Oh, Bear Grylls. So it was a survival base. It was just people don't like to work there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good family day out.
Yeah.
But it just makes you raise questions about Bear Grylls and how he might just be an 11-year-old. I mean, there was this stuff that, like, there was a plane crashed into a tree, like a big centerpiece. Like, what has this got to do with Bear Grylls? He's never crashed a plane into a tree.
No.
I mean, apparently he jumped out of a plane without a parachute, and that's why he's not in the army anymore. Apparently, like, he broke 3 vertebrae in his back because his parachute didn't open.
All right.
And the army was like, we don't want people
who can't walk
parachutes. Yeah, broken backs.
Yeah,
in the army. So you're an honorary soldier or whatever it is.
As in, you're not.
Yeah, but like, there's this big plane in this tree. It's got nothing to do with anything.
Wasn't he a scout?
Wasn't
he like?
He's like a head scout. You think he still
like
is?
Mr. Scout. Like from the Prince. The Prince said, "You are the Scout." Yeah,
he's a representative of Scout. I tried to look him up to find some stuff because I wanted to find some promotional material. Yeah, the only promotional material. Is that why he's called
Bear? Because that's not his.
His real name's I think it's Edward.
Not Bear then.
Yeah, Edward Grylls.
Edward. Yeah. Not quite the same as Bear.
But his sister gave him the nickname Bear when he was like a week old. It's just like a family nickname that kind of stuck. I get that. It's fine. Yeah. But it does scream, I'm a bear. Yeah. And it just seems like a really weird thing. I'm going to prove that I'm a bear by, eating these crickets. All right, Ed.
Don't take anything away from the guy. Like, I'm sure he's a hell of a lot. He's
achieved a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of controversy around. I think there's some stuff about like maybe he over dramatizes a lot of stuff. Like, it is a television
it's TV
show,
though, isn't it?
Yeah. Like it's a lot of it is for dramatic effect. Yeah. But
like he doesn't. It's not shit that he does in his spare time. It's like if you go around his house, he's not like in the garden digging up worms for dinner. Like it's
just hands cupped behind an elephant, just waiting for some shit to drink or whatever it is. Yeah. But he's definitely done a lot of stuff. It was just a weird place. And then, every now and then they tried to create a sound of you being in a jungle. So it was like, noise of insects. Yeah. And then every now and then.
So you're going to be like, where did Birmingham go?
Where am I? I'm in a jungle on an adventure. And it was just like every now and then you heard a plane go, meow. And it just feels like Bear was like, every now and then, can we just have a meow? That'd be great. That'd be amazing. I'd finish off this place.
Bear.
Put my quotes over there. Never give up, Bear Grylls. Yeah. There's a gift shop.
Was a Bear Grylls gift shop?
Yeah, we just had like a black hoodie with "Never give up, Bear Grylls."
Is that a Bear Grylls thing?
No, well, it's not.
John Cena says that.
Yeah, his name was John Cena. It's just like, he got loads of books. Yeah. Apparently, he's written loads. I mean, he's released
a lot.
A lot of books.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think 30 books. I think I saw.
Yeah.
30 or 80.
Bear Grylls Guide to Cooking Arseholes.
Yeah, there's one which I'll send you the photo for because I've completely forgot about it. But there's Bear Grylls Survival Guide to Life or whatever, and it's him in a meadow with an open buttoned linen white shirt and chinos, being I'm sensitive man.
What?
Surviving life. Sometimes you don't need to eat shit.
So this is his relationship guide or something?
Yeah, modern man for women to read or men to read for inspiration.
Great.
Probably more just for mums to read.
Yeah,
I guess.
See, why aren't you more like this man?
Why aren't you like Bear Grylls?
Yeah,
I'm Bear Grylls.
Because Bear Grylls isn't an accountant.
Yeah, got stuff to do,
and he doesn't have to put up with your shit.
It's just so weird. One, never knowing it existed. Oh, and the sharks are fine.
Yeah,
it was just swimming in a cage.
Yeah,
floating in a cage.
Yeah,
looking at sharks. And then there was two types. You could do snorkeling or scuba diving. I'd be up for the scuba diving, but I thought just as far as a surprise, might be deathly afraid of sharks.
Yeah,
it might be easier if they were in a cage. So start off with a snorkel. Rather than today, we're going to be walking with sharks.
Yeah, let's give her the least flexibility possible.
Yeah, just in terms of...
You have to stay here-ish, because otherwise you'll die.
Yeah, I'd find it funny if they were terrified, but I'm trying to...
Because you're a romantic.
Past that. Yeah, well, that's part of the fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good to be scared.
Terrifying people.
Yeah.
Romantic.
That's what love is. You should always do stuff that scares you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the least romantic thing you can do is to be the most placid, plain, and not do anything, right?
That's
I'd
true.
agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to do stuff that
challenges
you.
Yeah, no.
You have to never give up, Bear Grylls.
Never just do it, Bear Grylls.
I mean, I'm not... there were so many shit quotes, I can't remember them.
Yeah.
The shit quotes. Just do more things, Bear Grylls. What can I put Bear Grylls under?
Yeah.
Anything. All right. And the only thing I could find was a promotional video for the park was he helicoptered to Snowdonia.
Yeah.
I don't know what's got to do with Birmingham NEC or anything. And then he hammered in a
Is
sign.
it temporary?
No, I think it's pretty permanent.
Oh.
I think they're trying to do a few of them.
Okay.
But the promo video was in a helicopter, and as most people don't know, helicopters are loud and you can't hear people talk. So it's just him going, "Hi guys, I'm at Adventure Park. It's fucking great.
Don't do it."
Yeah, girls. It was really bad. And then the great place to take your kids.
Yeah.
It was just weird that there were so many adrenaline junkies there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't go there again, but it was good to go there.
Glad you went. Yeah.
It was an interesting date experience. I think it's a good date thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I can't remember what my dates usually consist of, but I've never really done surprise dates before. It's let's go for a meal. Let's eat food.
Yeah.
So, let's fucking see some sharks.
Yeah.
Might as well. I don't care. Do you care about sharks?
Well, what?
I don't know. You just said that as well, actually, I've got an interesting story to tell.
No.
You said they've got teeth that always come back.
Yeah, well, they've got oscillating rows of teeth.
Yeah.
I don't know if oscillating's the right word. That's
multiple rows of teeth.
But they slowly push forward. No, the shark thing, the shark in a cage thing. That would be kind of my skydiving, I think. That's something that I would love to do. That a lot of people are like, "Are you fucking mental?" Whereas I know I couldn't do skydiving. I'd even if I got to the point where I went up there, I wouldn't jump. I just wouldn't.
But would you let me punch you out of it?
That's not something I've got a choice over.
I'd get you to sign a bit of paper first. He asked me to punch him out of a plane.
Why would I sign that?
To make sure that you did the actual jump. You know what I mean?
No, I wouldn't sign up for
push.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some people who can't jump that would rather be pushed out of a plane. Because that's a real thing, I think, isn't it?
I don't know.
They can't take themselves over the edge, so they need a push.
If they can't jump, push them. Bear Grylls.
Yeah, because I do a skydive. I just always found it funny because there's a weight restriction.
Yeah,
that's
told this story.
I think you need to be 100 kilos or less, and it's you need to of course because you're on someone's back.
Yeah.
And it's you don't want to kill someone. So there has to be a limit. It kind of makes sense, but I've always found it funny that you're too heavy to jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't do skydiving, but you would do sharks. Is it because sharks scare you, or they scare you a little bit, or?
I think there's obviously something like there would be a massive adrenaline thing from it.
Right.
And like if it was doing like I don't mean like little sharks. I mean like the great white shark cage thing.
Yeah.
But like I've always wanted to do something where you are confronted by just sheer power and death, like that kind of thing.
You
and
don't
I think
feel that coming from me.
no,
right now. Okay.
no, not anymore.
Comfort zone.
Yeah, because you're a romantic.
Yeah, romantic, great white.
But like, but that is something that I could willingly step into, even knowing that I'm probably going to be fucking terrified. Whereas I know skydiving, I just wouldn't even approach.
Yeah, there's something about fear, I think, because again, there's nothing that I can think of that I really fear. When I first got into the Shark Tank, it was just a aquarium.
Yeah.
That I got into, there was a weird lightness in my chest. I was like, oh, maybe there's something here, because there was someone in my family who encountered that. They got like anxiety from being in the sea or whatever.
Yeah.
And they've worked to overcome it. And I was like, oh, maybe I've got that as well. And it's like, oh no, I think it was just, salt water.
Yeah.
Like, and I was wearing a wetsuit or a dry suit.
Yeah.
And I was like buoyant. I was like, this is just a weird feeling. Like,
Yeah.
that's all it is. Oh, look, shark. But yeah, I think there's definitely a thing about if you're afraid of something, you should explore it to see why.
Yeah.
And to work through it.
I'm-
You'll
well,
learn,
the-
you'll learn
that's the
something about yourself that
Yeah.
you don't understand.
It's not I'm not scared of sharks thing. I would be fucking terrified, but I could do it, and therefore I want to. Like I would like to kind of experience that.
Yeah, would you bungee jump?
No.
You see, I don't understand the point of a bungee jump. I would jump out of a plane, but bungee jumps just seem...
Apparently there's
like,
more chance of dying through
merry-go-rounds.
bungee jumping than there is through skydiving.
It's definitely more violent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're being twanged around.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, I think it's... like I don't really have a G-force attraction. Like, people who love, like, spinning teacups really fast and going on spinning
I enjoy that,
roller
but
coaster
it's
rides.
like...
I've never had
That's
that
something
enjoyment.
I chase.
Yeah, I've never enjoyed that feeling of G-force. I've never, like, not enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get motion sickness. But again...
I enjoy this.
yeah, but I quite like vomiting, so
Yeah.
it's never really been a big deal. But yeah, it's never... I think that's what bungee jumping is for more, is for that G-force feeling.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, I just don't see the point. I think when I was a kid, I was like, oh, that's quite cool. It's like, nah, it's always better to do it out of a plane.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, it costs loads. It's really expensive to do it out of a plane. It's like, oh, not really that much anymore. It's still a mini holiday.
Yeah.
But it's not like crazy.
Well,
So
bungee jumping out of a plane.
yeah. Just bouncing back into the propellers. Yay!
Well, people do it off like hot air balloons, don't they?
Yeah.
I've seen them do that.
I mean, just shut up. Do you know what I mean? Just,
What?
why are you doing it? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I think Pete Holmes did a really great bit recently about hot air balloons. And
Yeah.
you don't really understand. You don't really realize how small they are, the baskets.
Yeah.
So you're just like face to face or cheek to cheek
With
with
the-
just people that you don't know.
Yeah.
Like the hot air balloon operator who's a pilot.
Yeah.
He's just talking. You're like, why are you here?
Yeah. Me and Vix were watching a show where there was a guy was arranging a first date where he took the date up in a hot air balloon. But I was immediately just like, but you're not alone. Like there's a third guy there that you don't know
Just a random
that's
person.
just listening to your conversation because
Yeah.
you can't not.
Probably talking as well.
Yeah.
Just, well, I had a little bit of personal conversation to it. You know what I mean?
I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Bear Grylls Adventureland.
Yeah.
If you want to go and be completely underwhelmed, I mean, like, go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't allowed to do archery because the girl I took didn't have a hairband. Well, you can't do archery if you got
What?
if you haven't got a hairband. Well, think about it. It doesn't work, does it? I don't know.
What?
It was just a very stern Asian man.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe
you
the
can
arrow
get
gets
caught.
tied up in your hair and rips your head off. I
You
don't
could-
know.
I don't know. Maybe it could get caught if you're pulling the arrow up to your cheek. I don't know.
But I've got a beard and they were fine with that.
Yeah.
He just really agrees with that arrow.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be like proper Wile E. Coyote. You shot
Yeah.
yourself into it. Be amazing if physics worked like that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a great kids place to go.
Yeah.
It's just, it was weird that it was marketed towards adults and adrenaline junkies.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done the wind tunnel thing before.
Yeah.
It's a different venue years ago. So this is fine. But again, not really. I mean, I'm always saying that I might just be joyless and there might be part of my brain that isn't fine. Was it Hugh?
Which one?
Laurie.
Okay.
There we go. Sorry, it took a while for me to get there. Said that he realised he was depressed when he was driving a NASCAR or a Formula One car and a car exploded in front of him. And he was like, that's weird. And just carried on.
Yeah.
He was like, that's not the human response.
Yeah.
You know, you need to have more of an emotional response to that. So there might be an element of me. I mean, I don't think I'm depressed.
Yeah.
But like, there's, you know, just not as impressed. But I'm not depressed, but I'm not impressed. Well, all this stuff. It's like, it shocks. Yeah, I get it. Same with roller coasters. I'm like, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I just rationalize the world into a place where it's fine.
Yeah.
The world's crumbling. Yeah, but I don't care.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm not a serious person. All links together.
Yeah.
I would go on to all the news articles I've got this week.
Yeah.
But we're at like 54 minutes or something.
Yeah.
It's all that Bear Grylls.
All right.
Some things about Bear Grylls that I wrote down.
Just do it.
Yeah, Edward Grylls. This is just the blurb for the park that I've just described in all of its glory.
Okay.
The Bear Grylls Adventure in Birmingham is the new home of Earth's greatest challenges. There was a slide.
Earth's greatest challenges.
Not Mars! Just Earth. You can dive, climb, fly, or take on some seriously high ropes. Dare to be tested to your limits. Room with no snakes in it. And see if you have the determination, bravery, and mental grit. Mental grit, I squeezed through a bouncy castle.
Yeah.
To conquer your greatest fears. Scared of the dark, but you wear a hat. Be bold and trust your instincts. Just don't eat insects to prove your grit, I guess.
Yeah.
And this, I think this was in the frequently asked questions section of the Bear Grylls Adventures. of the Bear Grylls site, sorry.
Yeah.
Bear Grylls in general, which I think sums up, what Bear Grylls really is. What question, I think that's question number 7. Can Bear Grylls offer some answers about your homework or school project? Bear receives many daily requests of this nature. Every day people ask him to help them with their homework. Bear, I can't do long division.
Oh.
And he gets enough of it. We have to say, listen.
Never give up.
Yeah, hardest day was yesterday.
Yeah.
Just do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, of this nature. And often the best solution here is to read some of his books for helpful homework pointers. We have over 70 books to help guide you. Bear's favourite is Bear Grylls' Survival Guide for Life, which I think is the sensitive.
Right. Not Bear Grylls' Guide to Algebra.
Bear Grylls breaks down the periodic table. Bear Grylls eats the periodic table. Oh, God. Yeah, it was just, like, it was a good laugh. But, yeah, I think it was just, like, moulded as something else. It's like, yeah, it's your greatest fear. It has to be corporatized enough. We're like, I don't think it was his idea to offer crickets with pizza. In the canteen, the corporates were just like, yeah, that's part of Bear Grylls' experience. Why can't part of the Bear Grylls' experience be eating more food than just pizza?
Yeah.
And crickets.
Yeah.
Offer more food. No, because, you know, there's lots of restaurants in the NEC and we need to make a USP.
Okay.
Crickets. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Should we put stupid quotes on the walls? Yeah. Because then we can sell those in the gift shop. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good laugh. Oh, there's some good news stuff this week as well. Never mind. It's all good. We'll leave it there.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. All good.
That's not playing.
Steve's collection of useless meanderings. Scum.
Yeah. In Longyearbyen,
Bear.
Svalbard, which is in Norway, it is illegal to die.
Don't do it. You go to prison.
Because of how far north it is, dead bodies.
We're too north for death. Once you get north of the wall, when you die, they just bring you back for a disappointing 8th season.
So like it's so far north that dead bodies don't decompose properly because it's just cold. So they get like Earth is in like a constant state of permafrost. So they bury them, but they don't decompose. I don't know why they can't cremate them or whatever. So if you are nearing death, they have to ship you off to.
Like Logan's Run. You now you go to Denmark. Oh, okay. Why? To die.
To die. So
not to send your corpse down there?
No, apparently not. Like as you're nearing death,
little
like
holiday.
No, no one is allowed to die in their own home, I guess.
Because it's too cold.
In Svalbard. Yeah.
Interesting death stuff.
Yeah.
We covered a while ago, and it was one of my favourite stories. But apparently it's not as ludicrous as I thought. About, a young couple who lost a young baby.
Yes.
And the hospital sent it home.
Yeah.
For them to play with.
Yeah.
I've had another story.
Okay.
But this time with twins. About someone I know who went to visit someone who invited people around to hold their dead babies.
Oof.
And it's like... I understand. What I mean, right? So the mother gave birth to a stillborn, and it was twins. So it also gave birth to another baby, but that baby only lived for 45 minutes. So tragedy, absolute tragedy, and part of the coping mechanism of it, the doctors sent their babies home with them in an icebox, in order for them to grieve, and to cope and to get their head around it. Which again. If it works, if it makes sense, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But it's just how insane it really is if you think that the world doesn't do this. If you think the world doesn't, I don't know, breastfeed dead babies.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this person did breastfeed their dead baby, but you go, that's absolutely ridiculous. No one does that. It's like, no, well, they're close to that.
Yeah.
Like they canned them to take photos.
Yeah.
You know, this is me with my dead twins.
The weird thing is like there's different things that we laugh at. Some of them we believe they're ludicrous and it's just stupid and wrong. Some of them it's ludicrous and it makes sense, but it's just so unheard of that it's
so
just
difficult
like
to comprehend.
This is this is the world. Like this is what we live in. And it's not even like I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Like so it's funny or whatever. It's just like, I can't imagine being in that situation. And, like, as far as I'm concerned, like, they're not hurting anyone. Whatever they need to do to cope. Like, if it's proven or whatever, if they feel, even if as a placebo, it helps them in some way, great. Yeah. All for it. But it is just inherently strange.
Well, I think the reason that article came about originally on the podcast was that was the first thing I'd ever seen that I'd found horrifying.
Yeah.
As in, like, and there's a weird little lump in my chest. Maybe I need to get in touch with Bear Grylls. How do you get over your fear of mothering the dead?
Just never give up.
Just do things. But yeah, it's just like, because in that original story they took him to the park and in the pram and on swings and stuff.
Yeah.
This was just a friend telling me that they went to visit and held the babies whose skin hadn't properly developed, so they were kind of transparent or yellow and cold because they were kept in an icebox. And they would, and it was like the parents were not registering, they probably registered, but acting as if the babies weren't dead. Yeah. Just like rocking, oh, do you want to hold him? Oh. And you're just like, just giving me a dead baby. Yeah. And you're like, I totally understand. I totally sympathize with how traumatic and horrifying that experience is of losing a child. Yeah. Especially, not especially, but added on top of never actually getting to know them because they died at birth. I imagine it's a whole other level of trauma that's in a different box, an ice box. But it's like, trying to figure out how to help with that. Hey, if it helps, great. But the fact is, this happens regularly. A doctor writes a prescription for a dead baby box. Yeah. To take home and keep it refrigerated. Seems odd. How long do you do it for? Yeah. How does that work? But then someone said, it's kind of like funerals. You need to see the body. A lot of people need to see the body. Closure. Need to have the ceremony. Need to be around people with the dead to kind of, because you said closure. Kind of do stuff. But yeah, it's very real. Yeah. Anyway, that was my addition to you're not allowed to die in the north. By the way, in the south, people pass dead babies around like it's past the parcel. Translucent, yellow-skinned, transparent babies.
King of the North.
Yeah. We never die. Up here. All right.
All right.
Mate.
Yeah. African wild dogs vote on whether or not to go on a hunt by sneezing.
Who decides that? They're sneezing. No, they're voting.
If a dominant pair sneezes first, then on average, 2 additional sneezes mean that a hunt occurs. If a non-dominant dog sneezes first, then typically it takes 10 additional sneezes to sway a group to hunt.
What's the pollen count today? If the pollen count's high, then I think there will be a hunt.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. Well, we trust it by the sneezes of a dog. More should be brought from that.
Yeah. So
Weird.
on days of high pollen count, all the deer are like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, we're in extra danger today. The trumpeters clean. It's not even a trumpet, it's a bugler, isn't it? It's not a trumpet that they take on a dog huff.
Oh, yeah, it's like a bugle.
Bugle. So he's washing. Oh, it's high pollen count today. I'm going to wash my bugle. Trying to make dogs sneeze. Meanwhile, people who can't be asked are trying to prevent a dog from sneezing.
Yeah.
Look at the light. It works for people, not dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the tin. I don't know.
Yeah. It's interesting the systems that we put on other animals. I mean, I suppose.
And the thing
it's
is,
perceivable. It's the same as we were saying about bees debating.
Yeah.
It's.
But that's the thing. I can't, and I think it's purely just because of how I'm wired. I can't see how someone who's only serious can understand that.
Yeah.
And I imagine fox hunting's probably quite a serious thing. Was it fox hunting? You said for the dogs to go on a hunt, they need to sneeze. Was it to hunt dogs? Foxes?
No.
Just any hunt.
African wild dogs. So they'll be hunting.
Oh, hang on. Again, my brain. So these are just packs of dogs discussing amongst other dogs.
Yeah.
Not people.
No.
Okay. Well, then, actually, that kind of makes more sense, I guess.
Yeah. It's not the aristocracy coming up with weird rules.
That's what I thought it was. It was just people on horseback being like, how many times has the dog sneezed? We will only hunt at the sound of the 12th sneeze from the largest brown dog. So yeah, it's like hyenas laughing.
What when you started going on about bugles? I was like,
I mean, sure, the wild African dogs can have bugles.
I mean, if they got lips.
Dogs can't play brass instruments, you prick. I don't know what that is. My brain just throws more information.
What can I blank out that would make this funnier?
My brain just has a good time. And it's like, hang on, what? Why? What? These aren't robot crocodiles. It's just a crocodile.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, these are robots, right?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Mate, no.
Just because he was called Wally.
Yeah. It's like, oh, he's a robot then. No. But I think there's a weird. I think it's a genetic, purely because both my parents do it, where their brains just blank. They forget their children's names all the time.
Yeah.
Which I find funny. But they're like, oh, they call me by my brother's name, my brother by my name.
Yeah.
Or they can't remember our names, so just say something. And the same with actors' names and anything. Their brain would just I don't know, probably just early onset Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or whatever.
Dementia. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's fine. But what is that when you write
Parkinson's
a sketch?
just shake the names out of their head.
But what the fuck is it when you start a cartoon in your head that's just more entertaining? And I'm just I'm assuming that's reality. Yeah, so it was dog hunting. No. It was dogs that are hunting. Oh, all right. Well, fuck the bugle then.
What are they hunting?
And then you went you went along with it. It was yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? Redaction.
Yeah.
Redacted. Nick thought the dogs played the trumpet last week. What? No, because of the hunters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Middle class.
African wild dogs have evolved to form brass bands in the savannah.
Yeah. It was even phrased as African wild dogs. Why did I therefore think it was middle of the country England, with middle class people
African
trying
wild
to hunt
dogs.
foxes?
Oh, beagles.
Yeah. Yeah, so they communicate to each other with sneezes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of makes, but they're probably not genuine sneezes, are they?
Well,
maybe it is, and it's coincidental. It's kind of like a religion.
Yeah.
The
No,
sneeze
it's
is
like
guiding
people
us today.
going.
The whole system of society built around that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, we can
we
bark.
go to war.
We can bark, but they'll know. So
They understand barking, but they think sneezing is random.
yeah.
And we've developed a whole system.
Achoo. Achoo, achoo, achoo.
Yeah. Oh, and if you bark 10 times, you're the alpha. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh.
The most allergic is the leader.
Wait, who sneezed? Was that Barry or was that Dave? Dave, like, I get on with Dave.
Dave's playing dead.
Two sneeze Dave. But if it's Barry, that's at least 8 sneezes I need before I fuck off to find a deer.
It's a good system.
Yeah.
Can't fault it.
No, fair enough.
It'd be better if they played instruments. Brass instruments, I think, would work well.
Yeah.
Introduce the bugle, you wild African dogs. So it makes sense in my mind.
Yeah. After the death of Princess Diana, radio station XFM banned certain songs that might upset people. Banned songs included Drive by the Cars.
No songs by Cars this week, all right?
Yeah.
The Car Diggins, maybe.
Airbag by Radiohead. And any song by the Crash Test Dummies.
Why? I get you have to find it funny on a meta level.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, songs by the Crash Test Dummies aren't inherently about car crashes.
No.
But you just be like, we got a new song by the Request, and you find it funny on that level. Like, do you remember? Radio's hilarious sometimes. Yeah. That's why it sounds like a car.
Yeah.
Radio can be very funny sometimes, and I think that a lot of things have a laugh with it. Like, we were listening to something on the way to somewhere. Context, right?
Yeah.
And I think the radio announcer was like, "Okay, we've got a new song up for all the lonely hearts out there." And it was
It was One is the
Beatles
loneliest
song.
summer. Yeah.
No, it was look at all the lonely people.
Oh yeah.
Whatever that song is, I
Yeah.
forget. And it was just
Eleanor
like,
Rigby. Yeah.
yeah, it's just there's all for the lonely hearts out there. And it's just like, yeah, you lonely people.
Yeah.
There's like little moments of magic that you go, I imagine the radio DJ
Just
probably knows a couple of Beatles songs.
Yeah.
And yeah, would play that for a laugh to have fun with.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess people, what, the Ding Dong the Witch is Dead got to number 1 when Margaret Thatcher died.
Yeah, and they couldn't play it. They were like BBC wouldn't play it.
Oh really?
Or
They
something,
didn't play
and
it?
loads of radio stations wouldn't play it. It's like, well, who's deciding the rules here?
Again, yeah, it's people who can't be silly. They just can't. It's just there are people who cannot be funny, cannot be silly, cannot be ridiculous. It's just not in their genetic makeup. And I think that they gravitate towards certain fields, whereas other people who are silly gravitate towards slightly different fields sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of crossover. But yeah, why would a radio station ban a song that they've played millions of times?
Yeah.
But because it's May and it's, you know, something's happened, we can't play that song anymore because then it'll upset everyone.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
This isn't necessarily this isn't funny, but I found it interesting. Sweden has the largest scale model of the solar system in the world. It is a scale of 1 to 20 million and stretches 950 kilometers across the country. So every now and again, when you're driving through Sweden, there's just
Mars.
a planet.
Just, oh my god, it's Saturn.
Yeah. And it's all focused around a big building that is the sun, like in the middle of one of the cities. And it stretches out for like 900 miles.
All the planets with rings are like smoking shelters.
Yeah.
Go stand underneath and smoke.
Yeah, but they're just set up in little places around the country. It's like in somebody's garden, there's just a little asteroid.
Yeah. What's that? It's Orion's belt.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's not in our solar system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's an interesting project, like an art project or what the fuck ever. Like it seemed quite fun, but yeah, I don't know.
Weird Guinness World Record.
You ever been to like a planetarium or like one of those shows, like the light shows or anything?
I don't think so.
I think they're more of a thing in America. I don't think we really got observatories much over here. I always hear about them in
there
the
was
States.
probably something like in the Natural Science Museum. Or,
Yeah.
you know, something like that I probably did.
Yeah.
I saw Mr. Bean at the O2 when it first opened. And he went through time. He travelled through time.
I remember seeing that.
I think that's the same.
Yeah, it was projected on like a huge thing, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it was like, we're in the O2.
Yeah.
And then I worked at a bar there. Years later.
Yeah.
And picked up a bus. And gave you a ring. And that was the first time I spoke to your fiancé. And I was very upset.
Picked up a bus?
Yeah, there was a guy under a bus.
Oh, right.
And it was a wrestling thing.
Okay.
And I encouraged people to help lift the bus.
Okay.
And I deadlifted with other people.
With other people. But it's more impressive.
Yeah, I deadlifted a bus.
Yeah, because I'm a romantic.
Yeah, and they were like, they were very grateful. So
Yeah.
they gave me one of their shirts.
Oh, that's good.
A wrestling shirt. And then I phoned you because like, oh, wrestling, Steve.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, your then girlfriend answered the phone because she'd never spoken to me before.
Yeah.
And I was very uncomfortable.
Not my current.
Yes, your current wife
Yes.
that was your then girlfriend.
Right.
You weren't married,
No. No.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
How long ago it was.
Yeah.
Not 10, 7 years ago? Something like that.
Yeah.
And rang, and she answered like, "Hi, I'm blah de blah, and I haven't spoken to you before." And I was like, "I have lots of rage, and I don't know you very well. Can you put Steve on the phone? I've just picked up a bus." She's like, "Why is he so angry?" It's like, he's just picked up a bus. I want to speak to Steve. I don't want to offend you because I don't know you yet.
Yeah.
And I'm very protective of Steve in a lot of situations. So opening trust with people who could potentially hurt Steve.
She was upset for a bit because she there was a point where you'd gone up to her and said, "Well, I don't hate you anymore," and she was just like, "Oh,
you hated me before." Yeah. Violent hatred. Just overprotectiveness is all it was.
Yeah.
And then I sent her a text. Yeah, quite not very recently, but when I was staying at your your spare room.
Yeah.
I think shortly before that, I sent her a text being like, "Hey, we've evolved to friendship level 2.
Yeah.
I now trust you."
Right.
Like, "Oh, thanks." Like, all right, well, now it's done. She did like a year's service before I approved or something like that.
Yeah.
Didn't affect anything, didn't change anything, but it was just there was just a weird energy where she. There would just be a coupley. I remember we'd have social gatherings and there'd be like a coupley moment between the two of you.
Yeah.
Like talking about your couple's song, and then just out of the corner of her eye, she'd see me just glaring at her, and then glaring at you, and you both look at me like, that's just Nick. He's just judging. He's just assessing the situation.
Yeah. He's a romantic.
I am, but I've also got deep trust and loyalty issues.
Yeah.
So.
All right, and finally, in 2013, police in the Maldives arrested a coconut for loitering near a polling station for the presidential election. Locals feared that the coconut may have been imbued with a black magic spell to influence the election.
It's still... It's a spell! It's trying to kill us all. Did it have its Miranda rights read to it?
Yeah. How do you cuff a coconut? I don't think you can.
No,
you could put one big zip tie around it.
You can put it in a bag.
Yeah. All right, come on. That's enough out of you.
He's resisting arrest. Kill it. It's full of milk.
Yeah.
It's weird that coconuts have milk. Does that mean that a coconut is a breast?
I don't know. We call it milk, but like, is it
white water? Isn't it?
Water, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
Because the inside of a coconut's white. Yeah, they probably saw it as milk because it looks like milk.
Yeah. Yeah. But then if you buy a can of coconut milk, it is white.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
I know like most coconut water is just like cloudy, but there might just be like cheaper brands.
Maybe. I don't know. Straight out of a coconut, it's clear. Pretty clear anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't remember. Always used to like getting coconuts. Good.
Yeah, yeah. And cutting them open, smashing them up, pulling all the fucking horsehair off them. It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Castaways taught us that it's a natural laxative.
Is it?
Well, that's what Tom Hanks said.
Oh, okay.
In Castaway, because that was his main diet. And he said he needs some proper meat because coconuts are a natural laxative.
Oh.
I'm assuming it's true if Tom Hanks said it.
I haven't seen it for a long time.
Yeah.
I can't remember that bit.
Pretty good film.
Yeah, very good film.
Big on FedEx.
Yeah.
Big FedEx advert.
Big on FedEx crashing a plane.
Yeah.
Well, great promotional work.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird less news articles episode this week.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We've done our quota.
We've done all what's needed. Probably do another hour, to be fair, with the stuff that I've got.
Yeah.
Do a bonus episode or something.
Yeah. Just pull bits out.
It's all straight. And lots of it was audience participation. So they'll all get used.
Yeah.
It's just, just didn't have time for it this week.
Good stuff.
All fun.
All right.
Cool. So, yeah, I'm at Nick Snip.
I am at Sing It Steve.
We're at Pulling Teeth Pod on Twitter and Instagram.
And we are wisdom at pullingteethpodcast.com.
Yeah. And the Pulling Teeth Podcast Facebook page.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all
have
fun.
Search, have a like, have a whatever.
Yeah, just give us a chat. What did you think about Hitler being in the last episode?
Yeah.
Work out all right?
Are you offended? I don't care.
Do you read the wise writings of Bear Grylls?
Yeah.
And you want to write in and tell us about it? Please do.
Yeah, just do it.
Bear Grylls. All right, awesome.
Yeah. All right, that was 139. See you next week.
Yeah, all good.
There you go.
There you go.